What's up, guys? It's been 6 months since the brand new Galaxy S23 Ultra came out, and me and this guy
Don't try to drain my energy.
decided that we're going to give you our duo review of the S23 Ultra. So let's go. So it's been about 6 months since the Galaxy S23 Ultra came out, and well, this is the time of the year where people forget that Samsung put out their flagship devices at the beginning of the year. There's kind of like crickets around this phone. Not a lot of people are talking about it. So I think it's a good time in the midst of all the crazy summer stuff that's going on to actually get down and dirty and actually talk about this device. And there's a lot to talk about here. So first things first, I want to talk about probably the gem of this phone. Well, one of the gems of this phone, which is battery life. The battery life on this phone has not only been good, it's not only been amazing, it's been the best battery life that I've seen in any device I've ever owned. I get it, there's other phones out there that probably have bigger batteries, faster charging, and all of that kind of stuff. But for a company that is known for actually having batteries that expand and explode, go fight me, Twitter. This phone has been exceptionally good. Not only have I seen consistent charge times and consistent battery life across the board, this phone to me seems like it's getting better and better and better the more I use it. When I first got it out of the box, it was very, very good, but typically over time, batteries kind of start dwindling down, or maybe the software changes a little bit with different upgrades and things like that. This battery life has gotten better and better, and I think that's because this phone has become one of the most efficient phones, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. What do you think, Dalevon?
Thanks, Roddy. I'm going to piggyback off of him just a little bit. I want to say that battery life on the Galaxy S23 Ultra has been the best battery life I have used on any phone. In fact, I can get 2 days out of this phone easily for my usage and what I do on devices. So it's really not much to talk about here. If you want a phone with great battery, I think this one may be that one. Whether you're a hardcore gamer or you're just a light user on social media and taking pictures and photos, then I believe that this phone would definitely push you through the day. I have no problem making it through the day, and I don't think that you'll have a problem making it through the day.
Right, so off of what he said, I would have to agree. I get through a day, no problem. I can push this phone to 2 or 3 days, depending on my usage. I am a definite power user, so for me, this device just does it all. I can throw anything and everything out of it. I do a lot of mobile business on my phone, whether it's creating graphics on the phone, taking a lot of pictures, sending a lot of emails. I probably get several thousand notifications a day, managing probably 6 to 8 different email accounts. I manage a lot of social media accounts, so I'm doing a lot of downloading and uploading. This phone just takes a lot of abuse when it comes to what I'm demanding of it, and the battery life will get me straight through a day even without a charge, and I'm usually left somewhere around 30-40%. Even on a tough day, I could throw this thing into battery mode, battery save mode, and not only would it get me into the next day, but if I kept that mode on, I could easily go a full second day and this phone be okay. Now, I charge my phone every single night. I plop it on the wireless charger, go to bed, and it's fantastic. It charges up fine, no problems. It's very nice just to have wireless charging, and it does fine. Is it blazing wireless charging? No, but it's better than what a lot of phones I'm seeing are giving us in the way of wireless charging in 2023. I just think it's got a great battery, and if you're looking for the best battery life out there, if you're looking for battery life that gets better over time and a phone that learns your usage so you get better battery life, S23 Ultra. So yeah, I'm not the photographer here, and I'm going to leave kind of the technical side to Dalevon, but I can tell you when it comes to cameras on this device, they're really good. And I would say that probably the S23 Ultra right now has the best camera system. But this is probably where I'm going to get real critical of this device, and to me, this is really the part of the review after 6 months of owning this phone that I'm most disappointed in. Pretty much everything else is great, but I can just tell you that I am kind of disappointed that Samsung gave us out of the box, brand new, one of the best photography cameras I've ever seen on an Android, period. At launch, when I got this device brand new, for the first month or two that I had it, the cameras were just blowing me away. They were mind-blowingly good. Everything was fantastic. Everything I shot, no matter what setting it was just phenomenal. And then somewhere along the way, I don't know when it actually was, I didn't really notice it, but here recently I definitely have noticed it. And this is even with the July update, and it's a little better, but Samsung, what happened? Because you had a great processing system built into this, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't know, they prioritized light too much. They prioritized things being bright, and they prioritize like just all this light. And so the phone is just shooting really bright. It's shooting really hot. And then it's still doing this thing that a lot of Samsung phones I've complained about in the past are doing, which is what I see on the screen in the preview is nowhere near what I'm getting in the processing. So even if I feel like it's really bright on the screen and maybe I want to like tone that exposure down, when I take the picture, then it's too dark. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense because I'm like, hey, it's too bright, it's too dark, whatever. But it's just so hard to be consistent with this camera. Does it take really good photos? Absolutely. And I've noticed that if there's a subject in the picture, it will really focus in on that subject. Like if you have an inanimate object and it's really close, it does really good. Low light, it seems to really perform really, really well. The zoom is actually usable on this device. The video quality is absolutely stunning, especially in low light. But it's something about when you get outside and it's super bright, sun's out, no overcast, instead of a blue sky, you get a white sky. The other day I was shooting multiple modes on this, and Dalevon can throw the pictures up there, but it's like, I shot multiple ways on this. Expert RAW, Pro, Pro Manual, just the regular 12 megapixel, 200 megapixel, 50 megapixel, and actually the 12 megapixel did the best because you could actually see the sky and the clouds in the background. All the others were just overblown and you just couldn't see anything beyond where the shadows ended. I don't think that's acceptable from Samsung. I don't get what they did. I think they should have kept what they had. I feel like that they put way too much emphasis and focus on announcing this phone and how the prowess of the cameras were to give us really good software and hardware combination at the beginning. And then 6 months down the road, you've fallen off the wagon doing the same thing that the S21 Ultra did and the S22 Ultra did, and why I didn't keep those devices. So to me, that's really not acceptable. It's fixable in the software because they had good cameras, and they still do have good cameras, but their software is just lacking. Can you take really good pictures and videos with this? Yes. Is this one of the best cameras on a phone out there? Yes. Is it extremely inconsistent and you gotta be careful when you shoot with it? 100%. And oh, to add to that, because I know Dalevon's going to say it too, what's up with motion capture, Samsung? Get with it.
So this is that part of that video that yeah, you might not like. It is that rant part because I'm not a big fan of the camera, and I'm just gonna not go into real details explaining that because I actually have a YouTube video. You can check my video out on my channel talking about this. But I just want to say, like, I'm not a fan of the shutter lag or shutter speeds that the phone be selecting when I'm shooting moving objects. Sometimes it's hit, sometimes it's miss, but it's mostly miss for me in most situations. And yes, I have used camera assist and I turned everything up to as fast as I could. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I personally don't feel any benefits to that app or that modular at all in Good Lock at all. So if you are feeling that, then, you know, lucky you, but me, I'm not seeing a big difference no matter what settings I change it to. I just really feel like Samsung really need to work on that. And just an update real quick, I just recently was on Twitter and I see that Samsung or somebody found something that Samsung is actually officially about to fix the shutter lag. So for the ones who's claiming that it was never shutter lag or shutter speed or whatever, Samsung has acknowledged it and they're going to fix it after the July patch. So we all probably have the July patch now, and they're going to send out another update addressing that issue. So I'm very excited. Other than that, I do love the camera. It's one of my favorite portrait modes on any phone. And the only thing I do not like is their processing. I don't really like the colors and the popping and everything else that they do, but it's not like I'm not going to use the phone or shoot with it. I can always fix it in post editing, or I can shoot in RAW or use Expert RAW Pro mode. Or it doesn't really matter. Any of that I can fix the processing, so it's not really a big deal for me. But other than that, I really do love the quality of the video. It's second to the iPhone, I believe, to me, and it's very usable footage. It don't have to be iPhone level because it's very usable footage. People act like if it ain't iPhone level, then you can't use the footage, but it's 100% usable footage. I just don't get people's mindset when it comes to that. And if you're trying to shoot video on this, you would love to shoot video up here because it looks phenomenal. And other than that, I love the photos that come out of this thing.
So this next little section that we're going to talk about, I'm going to make it real short. We were going to talk about gaming, and that kind of goes back to performance and how good it is. I play Clash of Clans, and I play Tetris on my phone, and Solitaire. Those are the only 3 games that I have, and it's just to kind of pass time. So those games are great. And that's all I got to say about gaming. But no, it's the performance, the cooling, the way it handles all that, the big, larger screen, the boxy style is a lot easier to hold if you are going to game. I've gamed before, so I know what it means. But the design-wise, the G2 chip, the good thermals, all those are going to help you if you are a gamer. But Dalevon's probably more of a gamer, so over to you, Dalevon.
As Roddy said, I am a big gamer, but the problem there is that I'm not a big mobile gamer. Only mobile device that I game on is my Nintendo Switch. Other than that, I really don't game on my phone. So the only game that I actually play on this device is a maze. It's just a maze game. That's just a real chill game when I'm sitting in McDonald's in my line in the car, or I'm at DMV waiting on the line, you know, wait, get called or whatever it is. So I'm not really much of a big gamer on the phone. So in this section right here, I can't really go into depth about any performance as far as the gaming goes, because the game that I do play is a very light game. So other than that, I believe that this phone can handle any game out there, but I wish I can tell you more, but I'm just not a mobile gamer. But as far as what I've seen everywhere, the Gen 2 chip been handling mobile gaming like a beast.
So something else that I gotta talk about here that's kind of a mixed bag, kind of like the cameras were, is the build quality. So this phone feels even more solid and substantial, and even just a little bit more premium than the S22 Ultra, only by a little bit, but it's just the small things that kind of all add up to being a big thing. First off, more matte finish, and I would say give us more next year, but this is even better than last year. The side rails now are even better, even more premium feeling. They still have that kind of cold industrial feel, but the fact that the sides are a little bit flatter this time, we've got just less roll off on that curved display, makes it really, really nice, and it feels really, really premium. I like this cream color with the gold accents. It's just really felt like the prettiest one of the bunch. But overall, it feels really solid. This is a phone that, like, I feel like I could carry it around without a case. I don't feel like if I dropped it that it would destroy it. I've seen phones take tumbles by other people. If you haven't seen Mr. Mobile's electric bike video that he did 100 miles in, this fell off onto concrete while he was riding a bike at like 20 miles an hour, so it survived. But overall, yeah, build quality is great, but that also means I got to talk a little bit about design, and there's just a few things that I kind of wish Samsung would work on. Like, I love this squared off boxy look of it, but these sides are a little sharp. A lot like how sides of an iPhone are a little too sharp. They could use just a little bit, not much, but just a teeny tiny bit of kind of roundness, you know, just to take that just slight edge off. But I like the flatter top, so don't lose that. Like, don't make it round, but you know, make it just a little bit less where it doesn't dig into your hand if you're having to really grip it. I don't. I kind of rest it in my hand like this, so it works fine. But overall, I really, really like it. Power button's at a good placement. If you don't have bigger hands, which as you can see, I have a little bit bigger hands, so reaching the volume is not hard for me, but I know that's kind of up there for a lot of people. I think they probably could swap those two. I think they could put the volume rocker a little lower and put the power button a little higher maybe, or just move them all down a little bit, or switch sides and like have volume on this side and power on that side. I don't know, but overall, design wise, build quality, I really like it. I still don't like lenses shoved into a corner like this, but it's kind of grown on me, so I kind of tolerate it and live with it. But I still prefer like stuff that's a little bit more, I don't know, symmetrical, like the Pixel. But overall, this thing feels really good and solid. It feels really premium. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels like $1,000, $1,200 phone, and it looks just really, really beautiful. So good job to Samsung on that.
So now we're here talking about build quality of this device. So how do I feel? Man, look, it's just simple. This is hands down my favorite built phone. I love the square design. I love the look of this phone. I love just everything. I just love it. I have no complaints. I wish that my Pixel actually felt like this. I wish that I had this design language on my Pixel completely, or just any phone for that matter. It's very comfortable for me. I know that's subjective and other people may have a problem with the edges being too sharp, but I have no issues with it. I actually love the build quality of this device, and it's been holding up all this time for me without scratches or anything. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I had a skin up here since I bought the device, and I decided to peel it off and kind of use the device for a few weeks without it, and I'm probably gonna put another one up here. I just like skins. You know, phones are slippery in the back, so other than that, I really love looking at this phone and the color green and everything. That's my favorite color. But build quality has been great, so I have no really strong complaints about the quality of anything of this device whatsoever. Definitely the best built phone I've ever used.
So winding down, we're going to talk about my favorite feature, and I'm sure Dalevon's hopefully is different than mine, maybe. But I really like the S Pen. I originally moved over, and my first Samsung device was a Note. So for me, the S Pen, it's nice to have it inside, and it's one of those things that like I don't think enough people use the S Pen to its full advantage and like get comfortable with it. I have made it a point since I had my Note, because it was there and I'm like, hey, I paid for this, so I'm going to use it, to really get comfortable in using it. And so for someone like me who does a lot of work and I am jotting notes down, or someone gives me a phone number, an email address, or I might have to do some graphic design work on my phone on the go, there's been times where I've had to edit website stuff, templates and things like that on my phone, and the S Pen came in clutch because I could get real precise with it. But it more than just like using it on the phone, it's some of the other features you can get. Like, one of the best things is being able to use this like as a shutter button, so that if you're trying to take a selfie or a group picture, or you're trying to shoot a vlog, or you're trying to just capture a video or something like that, time lapse, whatever it might be, long exposure, anything like that, being able to have this as a shutter button is fantastic. I almost wish that Samsung would put a microphone in this, and it'd be like a Bluetooth microphone that you could talk into, or that you could use to have better audio or something like that. So it's really, really nice to be able to pull that S Pen out, right on that cover screen, take a note down, put it back up, and move on with your life. It's just really, really nice. It's my favorite feature of the phone. What about you, Dalevon?
We don't share the same taste when it comes to features. So anyways, I do love the S Pen, but I love the S Pen on my Galaxy Tab because I do art. So that's where my love for the S Pen is at. But for the phone, Yes, I'm one of those people who really don't really use it on the phone. But let's just talk about the two features that I really do love. That one of them is pretty much kind of exclusive. I love the side panels. It is like one of my favorite little things that I can just swipe from the side of my phone right here. Whoops, let me get it right there. And then I have access to a lot of different things. But I'm one of those people who don't like really set up a bunch of side panels. I literally just have one, and that's the one that can make a triangle, oval, pretty much screenshot, and I can make GIFs. I use this a lot, and I love that feature. I know that you can actually duplicate this. I tried it on my Pixel with some app or whatever like that, but it's just not the same. Feature number 2 would be separate app audio. I love the fact that I can still receive my phone calls, text messages, and all the sounds come through on my phone while I'm rocking out to music, playing somewhere on a speaker, on Bluetooth speaker somewhere, just anywhere else, because you can separate the audio to go from one device to another device. So just say, for instance, I'm listening to Spotify. I can set Spotify to play through my Bluetooth speaker. So therefore I can set my speaker somewhere away from me, and it's playing Spotify and all my music. And then just say somebody calls in, say you're at a party and you DJ and then somebody call you, your music's going to stop. So if you're using an iPhone, then your music's going to stop, and you got to take that phone call and then, or just hang up on them or whatever. And then the music will go back to playing. But no, not on Samsung. If somebody calls you while your music is playing, your phone is just going to ring, and then you can take your phone call just like a normal phone call while the music still plays, because it's separating the audio. And I find that as a dope feature, and I love it. That's my two features.
So here we are at the end. You've heard what I've said. You've heard what he's said. What do I think about the phone after 6 months? Well, I love this phone. I tell people all the time, I probably will not upgrade or get rid of this phone or sell this phone or trade it in or anything like that, unless there's something out there that just, it blows my mind and I gotta have it. I love this phone absolutely 100%. I still am disappointed about the cameras, only because they were so good at launch when it came out that I just really loved the cameras on this. But other than that, everything else about it fits my needs the best. Someone that's a power user, someone that is always jumping in and needing the most powerful phone that I can get, that's not going to die on me, that's going to handle everything I throw at it, from extreme downloads and uploads and graphic design and multiple posts a day and all this kind of stuff that I'm doing. Solid text messaging. I really like the haptics of this. The voice assistant has actually gotten better than my Google phones somehow. I don't know why it's better on here than on there. I mean, it's Google Assistant either way, but voice to text has gotten a little bit better than my Pixel phones were, and just so much about it. I really like the direction Samsung's going with One UI. I do kind of enjoy using some of the other software experiences that are out there, but overall, there's a lot to love here, and there's a lot that I've gotten really used to having. The call quality's great though. The reception's great. The battery's great. It's powerful. It never gets hot and overheats. I can run this thing to the end of the day, still have plenty of battery life, not have to ever charge it, not searching for a charger or looking for a charger. And anytime that I do throw it on a wireless charger or plug it into my car and drive around, just the way that it charges extremely fast without getting super hot or anything like that, just makes me feel like this is a phone that I can have for a very long time. I enjoy using it. I enjoy holding it. I enjoy looking at it. I just enjoy everything about it. It's just, to me, it's a home run. It's the best Samsung phone they've ever made, from premium design to performance to battery life, the whole 9 yards. And if they can just work out the kinks in their camera UI, like I've been saying since I had my Note, they've got a hit. And they had it. You just need to go back to whatever they had in February and bring that back. So I still recommend this device. I know there's a lot of carrier deals and stuff where and I think like Google Fi has, you can get $1,000 off with a trade-in on this thing, which is insane. But for me, I think it's a solid device. Everything from fingerprint scanner to always on display, everything like that. And there's a few things, like I think there's other phones that do better notifications, but I can still read my notifications and I can just interact with so many different apps so seamlessly. I just haven't found anywhere that it really just gives me a hiccup and I'm just like, I don't want this phone anymore. I can't stay away from it. I can't stop switching my SIM card back into it from something else and putting that phone down and then maybe coming back to it. I just hold this near and dear to me. It's like my security blanket of phones. So if you're looking for a great phone, if you're a power user and you can get over sometimes having overexposed photos and you don't need a lot take a lot of motion pictures, or you learn how to just hit that shutter button and hold it down and just let it rapid fire and hope that you get one good photo out of 100, then this is a good device. If you want the best zoom, this is the phone. If you want the highest megapixel, something super sharp that you can edit later on, this is the phone. If you want the highest bitrate video that you can get and the highest resolution you can get shooting video on a phone, this is the phone. If you want great screens, if you want great battery, if you want great thermals, if you want a great build quality, if you want a beautiful phone, this is the phone. And that's just all I can say about it. I'm not a Samsung fanboy. I've got everything. And as you can see, I have an Apple Watch because that's how I get my notifications from my iPhone, because it stays in my pocket all the time. But I'm serious, guys. Like, this is, to me, the best Android experience I've had on a phone in the last 5 to 6 years. And that should say a lot, for not just for me, but for Samsung and for someone that uses multiple phones a year and multiple different OSs a year. It means a lot to have a phone that I can finally go, I enjoy this, I like this, I'm actually satisfied with this. If I didn't do tech videos and have to switch SIM cards out and review stuff for you guys, I would go pick this device up and it would be the only device that I carried around. So I hope that helped. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give my closing thoughts on this device. But before we do that, I just want to give a big shout out to Roddy for doing this dual video with me. We was trying to do something new. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you did, we might try to do some more of these right here, because it's better to get two perspectives than one sometimes. So I feel like you'll get a better feel of how people use their phones and how we all are different when we're using our phones. And this gives you a better understanding of that. So anyways, my closing thoughts with this device is that it's a really great device. So if you own this device, I know for a fact that you're enjoying it. And if you're somebody who's on the fence of like, should I get this or should I wait? Should I get this or should I wait? If you have the Galaxy S22 Ultra, I would say at this point, you should just wait. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Dalevon Digital and my man Roddy, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.